frying tonight. Hi, Angus Campbell here. It's where are we? Tuesday, the 9th of July 2024. Right, cracking on with the Silver Jubilee Bonneville. First thing, as you can see, let's get the rear chain cooking in link life. Once it's sunk in, we'll leave it in there bubbling away for simmering for a quarter of an hour or so, or something like that anyway. And what we're going to do for this video is crack on with the finish off the rear end now. So we've got the light grab rail, chain guard, chain, and also the breather pipe and the wiring to connect. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So without further ado, oh, also the shock absorber. I'm going to transfer that adjuster onto here. It's going to be a pain of a job, but it needs to be done. All right, without further ado, then let's get a few bits and pieces out. Dig out the chain guard out of its safe slumberland, and first of all, I'll put the rear light back together while the chain's cooking. We took this apart because we wanted to repaint the back plate, so that's a simple job. We'll do that first. Right, chain cooked, drained and cooled off, or cooling off. So that's that job done. I'll put the link life away in a minute. I need to do a bit of tidying up all over the damn place here. It's a right mess. Rear light just about built and cleaned up, but I'm missing, and I don't think what was on here was right. I'm missing two sleeve nuts that go in the back here, one that side, one that side. I can't find anything remotely close to what they should be. I think when I took these apart, we had a hell of a job getting this apart because of improper nuts that were in the back here. So I've just ordered a couple from Triumph Twin Spares, but other than that, that's together and looking a lot better. Bit of polish. So what we need to do now is this shock. So let's get on with that. As I said, the problem with my old spring compressor is that this was designed for the earlier spring collets, of which there were two rather than one, and they weren't as wide as that either, so you could see the edge of the spring. So these are a bloody pain to get off, these are. Once we get them off, I'll do what I normally do, and I'll split them. What I'll have to do is compress it over to one side and use a bit of brute force to grab the collet and drag it out. Not looking forward to this. Horrible job. Guess what I just found? Those sleeve nuts that I couldn't find yesterday, and ordered a couple more. I just found them. There they are, and they're the correct ones. So we can get on with the backlight, the grab rail, and these. Right, there you go. This is what I have to do to get these, single collets, single wide collets out. You have to put the base of the spring compressor on one side, as I've done there. There you go. And just here where my finger is, you've got a gap there where you can get a screwdriver and tools in there to lever and force that collet out sort of sideways. And then once we've got it out, for reassembly, what we'll do is we'll cut it in half, grind it down a bit, and then it'll become more like the originals, and that'll be more suited then to this spring compressor. Okie doke. Of course, when I'm using these and leaving that lot out, I always wear eye protection. Right, let's do a bit of levering. Just a big flat-ended screwdriver should do this, and then if it's showing a bit of resistance, it'll go in the vise, and a big lump hammer will come out as well. There you go, she's out. That's one. That's distorted that, so we need to open that gap up so we can get the damn thing out. Anyway, we'll get that out. Do the same with the other one, and then we're there. Houston, we have a problem or two. This ain't gonna work. This won't come off. There's no way it's gonna go over that. So these are obviously put on before the rods and ends are pressed in, probably. And the other problem is that obviously on later shots they put this sort of collar that the spring sits on above the adjuster, and obviously we can't get it under that, because I'm pretty sure, because this is tight, that ain't gonna go over there either, and it don't, and it's nowhere near. So pair of new shocks on order from, what's the company? SJM or SMJ. They're on the way now, and that's the easiest way to solve that. And this lot can basically go in the bin. And the other thing, Greg wants new screws. They are a bit rough to hold on the side panel, and they're an awkward little size. They're obviously panhead, and they're 5/16 UNF by 1/2 inch long, and you can get every size but. So I've got 3/8, and I've got, what's the other one, 5/8 I think it is, or maybe a bit longer, on order. So if we can't go a bit shorter, we can slightly cut down the longer ones, and that should tidy that up. Right, so what we'll do now then is we'll get on to fitting the chain and then the chain guard. Chain is easy enough, just thread it through, and we've got the split link, just a case of putting the split link on the right way around, so I'll show you that when we get there. Chain on, not too much problem at all, and now adjusted up roughly, got about a bit less than an inch probably, or about an inch, but I'll leave it fairly loose now until we get it on the floor and we can check it then. And as always with the split link, making sure the spring rounded end is the direction of travel. Right, next, you see we could do chain guard now, but of course it's a bit more difficult when you haven't got a shock here, and they're on the way. Might have to leave that. However, we've got footrests to do. This one's okay and on, polished up, not too bad. We just need to tidy up that bolt head a bit, probably paint that silver. But we've got the other three to do, so I've just dragged those out and taken them to bits. And we've got a bit more painting to do, which isn't going to happen today, but we can do a bit of prep on them. Easy enough to wire wheel these, get them down to metal, and we'll start from scratch. Now the other news is that Rick has been in touch with some more information from his days of riding these, and that is that the mystery surrounding the square holes in the air filters has been solved, and that is that there are two, if you like, can't remember what they call them, air pipes, vents, that go from the air filters out the back of the plenum chambers to, if you like, take warm air in from the back of the motor. Bear with me a sec. Here we go. Not illustrated too well there, but in the air filters themselves there's like a metal back plate, and there's a square hole at the top of that, and that square hole is where these engage, and that's 90 degrees out actually. These engage in there, going out the back and down, and therefore taking warm air in from the back of the engine. Well, we thought these were missing, but having a dig around in the box of parts, digging out other stuff to finish the back end, there they are, and these are pretty scarce. So they're a bit rough, but we'll clean them up. They'll fit okay, they'll do the job, and as Rick says, Dummy here has learnt a bit more about these bikes. So we'll have to take the cover off and the inner cover off and the filter, but that's easy. So we can at least do that now. Right, there we are. Just goes in the bottom hole there on the inner plenum chamber half, and it can only go in one way round because they're not dead straight. So there it is poking out the bottom. If you try and put the wrong one in there, it fouls on the spine. So it can only go one way round. And in that way then, that explains then why you then put the filter on and it's got just one hole in it. And obviously has to line up with that. And it's even got a rubber seal on the back of it already there. So there we go, live and learn. Right, we'll put this back together on both sides, and then that's done. Right, there we are, chain guard on. It's just resting on the back there where we need to obviously install the new shock when it arrives. But just to review other bits and pieces, now we've done a bit of a tidy up. So I've cleaned up the exhaust pipes. I've taken the top thin clamps off because they're knackered, so there's a couple of new ones on order. They'll be here in the next few days. She's looking a bit shiny. I've got the other tube and the back of the air filter in there. You can't actually see it because the chain guard's now on, but it is in there, believe me. I've got the grab rail on, rear light on, top mount to the rear light is also for the number plate brackets. They're on. A bit loose at the moment, just need to tighten everything up. We've got the indicators to put on that, but that's easy. What else have we done? Got the horn ready to go on, but I needed to order or dig out some rubbers. I think I've got a rubber mounting kit for that, so that's easy enough. I think that's about it for now. As I said before, rear wheel is now sort of tightened up, but having put the chain guard on, it's far too close. I think it's rubbing on the tyre, so I just need to twist it a bit. I've got a bit of room on this side down there, yeah, probably a finger's width, to bring the tyre across a little bit, so it's not rubbing on the chain guard but not rubbing on the master cylinder, rear master cylinder as well. Got the number plate to put back on, but I'll just get a Halfords kit for that with a proper sort of yellow and black plastic. Little screws, set screws and bolts, nuts. I need to clean that up a bit more. It was black, it's supposed to be Ali, done that. So, I think for now, bar from the shocks, we'll call that rear end done-ish. And next we can go back and just finish off the front end with respect to the handlebars, switches, and the hydraulic lines, all of which we've now got. Right, we'll leave it there for now then. I'm going away for a long weekend, so a bit of a rest from this, hence the tidy up. And shock of all horrors, there's actually a bit of space on the bench. The old carbs, the original carbs that we've cleaned up, etc., I think are okay. The slides are a little worn, but other than that I think they're fine. So I'm going to build those back up properly. I've got some new screws on the way, and then I'm sure with Greg we'll sell those off, and I'll put them on eBay at the usual place once those are done. Next job, well, I suppose this is midriff really, is to paint these and the mounting brackets, put the choke on. Needs a bit of a clean up and a polish, but I think that'll be all right. That looks as though it's still plated. We'll see anyway. It's been nicely coated in oil, so it should be okay. Right, I'll leave you with a picture of that then, and I'll see you maybe in a week's time when we'll get a pack of the front end. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for your interest, any comments and subscriptions, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.